Hello, my name is Ben Wolkoff, and welcome to another daily anti-fascist video of Inspired Defiance. Today, I am inspired by something that we talked about a few days ago, in which the Trump administration was asking for 9 universities to sign a compact in order to freeze their tuition for 5 years, not really let in trans or international students, and there were a couple of other stipulations in order to receive their federal funding. As it turns out, MIT was not interested in that compromise. They were not interested in disallowing trans kids to come to their school or not include large numbers of international students that make up their student body. It didn't make sense for them, and they saw it as a huge overreach for the Trump administration. So they rejected this proposal, this compact that the Trump administration was asking of universities in order to receive something that should automatically be coming to them. And while MIT is the first of the universities to officially say no, it is likely that many, if not all of them, will. They have said to this administration that they're not interested in special funding treatment. They would like the normal way of providing funding to universities to be maintained. I see it as a deeply human refusal to let political agendas define what a university is and does. The idea of the tit for tat, offering this benefit in order to sign on to an agreement to protect conservative voices or to not allow certain students into the university, is abhorrent. And they rightly said no to it. In another attempt to use funding to guide people to a particular ideological conclusion, the Trump administration has decided to cut funding and to completely close down a major Nevada solar project. It's called the Esmeralda 7 solar project, which was to be one of the world's largest and most capable solar farms. It would have been capable of powering over 2 million homes. Some people see this as just a policy shift, shifting to the type of power that his base or his particular advisors are saying is better. But this was funding that had already been apportioned. It is a project that was already going to happen, and by clawing it back, by saying that it will no longer happen, we are delaying our entry into the modern power industry. There are entire nations that are and have already converted their entire power grid to be focused on renewable energy sources. Rather, we are continuing to invest in industries that are polluting our environment as well as holding us back from a huge number of jobs in the clean power industry. And I think the hardest part for me is not that I think, solar power or wind power is the wave of the future and that's the thing that we need to be focused on, but rather it is about closing off possibility. The Trump administration is not interested in opening up possibility. They're not interested in inspiring us. They're not interested in imagining a better future. They are only interested in constraining us to what was. I'm not interested in going backward. I'm interested in moving forward, in looking to the future, in looking at ways that we can build resource within our country, in looking at ways to create jobs. And it is incredibly disappointing that an administration that claims to be putting American citizens first, that they aren't interested in doing that for the widest number of people, but only for a select few, namely those that benefit directly from fossil fuel industries. In another callback to what's been inspiring me this week, we have seen a judge deny and block the Trump administration's attempt to deploy the Texas National Guard into Chicago. While the movement has still happened, the deployment has been blocked. I think many of us see this as one indication that they might not be able to get away with it. That deploying military forces for non-emergencies from one state to another is a huge power grab and overreach. And I think it lends a lot of credence to the idea that we as communities, as cities, as states, get to decide our own safety, that we get to determine the best way forward in order to keep our citizens safe. And there isn't a role for a federal government or a particular administration to come in and say that your city is unsafe and we have to make it safe. I really like the idea that we get to choose our own destiny, that we get to decide through voting, through protest, through raising our voices on platforms like this, what it is that we want or don't want in our cities, in our towns, within our homes. And that sense of safety that I feel in my city of Denver, I want to broadcast. I want to share that this is a wonderful place. And I know that my son, who now lives in Chicago, wants to do the same. And if we are all speaking, sharing our stories of safety, of joy within our cities, it's very hard to combat that. The truth will be evident because there will be so many voices speaking. It will not just be those who are saying that these are wastelands or war zones. It will be those folks who actually live here, sharing the stories of what most matters to us. And we are not safe through magic. We are not safe because everyone looks the same or believes the same or comes from the same place. We are all safe because we are all in this together. This is our shared city. This is our shared experience of what it means to be a Coloradan or an American. And I think the more that we continue to share these stories, the more that we tell one another, I am safe. This is a safe space. The more that we can take back the narrative and not have to worry about some outside force coming in and saying, you are unsafe, we have to protect you. We can tell them, no, listen, it is our narrative to share. I'd love it if you would share your story of safety. Where do you live that makes you feel safe? That is a community of people that are all engaged in this endeavor together.